us for her presence, Ms. Habiba Kahinde. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you. Thanks. It's really nice to see you guys again.
So without much ado, I want to welcome Camilla Nontra.
Yay!
Oh my goodness! I should come to you every day when I need.
Correct. This is Sudan.
Wow.
Sudan. Believe it or not, Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt.
Interesting.
Begin to think in a Pan-African way, because they now see that their conditions are not just about that local space, but the condition is linked to all of the other.
Hello. Good morning from California. Good afternoon if you live on the East Coast. Good morning if you live in the Midwest or the Mountain Time. Good evening if you live on the other side of the world, GMT time. My name is Fred Nontra. This is the PanAfricana show. We start by thanking God. By Him we live, we move, and have our being. And we have another special show today. And before I hand over to my co-host, Jesse, it's been over 2 weeks. So we missed you all. I can't wait to have this show started. Over to you, Jesse.
Yes. Well, first of all, it's always a pleasure to be with you guys once again. We have another wonderful show for you today. Today, you get another opportunity to speak with the mastermind behind everything that we are trying to do as a group. This is not just the guest of the show, but this is one of our co-executive producers. And she's got a lot of accomplishments and things that you really need to know about. So if you haven't met her already, welcome. If you have met her before, you know it's going to be great. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the show once again, Nkechi Ajaeroh. How are you doing? Yay!
Okay, so that was a sweet introduction, JC. Thank you guys so much. You guys know I love every opportunity to be here with you all and chat. So I'm so honored to be here once again. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure.
Well, I want to just start it off. First of all, we hear that there have been some accolades that you have accomplished recently that we want to give you a platform and an opportunity to talk to the world about what's going on. So tell us about these accolades.
What are you talking about, my boy?
I'm talking about everything you're doing that you are killing it on.
Okay, first of all, I mean, it's been a tough year. I mean, I don't know if we all sat down to chat since Corona. I don't know. I can't remember, but it's been a tough year. So I just want to start by, recognizing all the people that went through every hurdle, that got sick, that survived it, that lost a loved one. So our prayers and our hearts are with you guys. So it's been a tough year all year round, but we still thank God. We thank God for his provision, for his favors and everything. So when I entered this year, my goal was really to kind of monetize my blog, because I know that Fred right there. Oh no, right there. It's so crazy how everything works. But Fred been telling me, hey, put ads on your blog. You're doing very well. You're pushing out content. And when I entered this year, that was really one of my goals. I wanted to, do whatever I can do to get more traffic, because all these ad companies, they're just not going to put ad unless if you're having some sort of traffic, So that was my goal. That was one of the burning desires of mine, if you would say, when I entered this year. And, I did what I can do. I worked hard. I prayed hard. I was like, God, I'm tired of working hard. I'm serious. I said that. I was tired. Like, what else am I going to do? But the thing is this, even when we say, what else am I going to do? We haven't really quite done everything. You know, we haven't really quite done everything, right? So I had this lady, she's Nigerian, she has like a very profitable blog, and food blog, and that's my niche. I know I'm using throwing the word out there, blog, but it's actually food. I write about food and all of that, and make recipes free of charge, which you can go to nkechiajaeroh.com and get for yourself. And she was really giving me tips and guiding me through, and just like, do this, do that, do the other one. And one of the things I realized was it's not just writing and publishing. You have to also share. That's how people get to know about that awesome thing that you have just published. So that was how God granted me this request, and I get to have more eyeballs on my blog, and I applied to an ad company. I'm hoping to improve as I go, because this is a work in progress. This is a work in progress. It's not like I've reached my goal at this point, but as I'm going, I am doing whatever I can do to get to where I want to go. And even when I get there, I'm still going to push harder. So it was 2 weeks ago, right? I applied to one of the ad companies that's been on my mind. Thank you. That's been on my mind, and they accepted me. And I'm just grateful that, thank you guys.
Yes.
I'm just grateful that, this thing that I was literally almost trying to give up on, is coming to fruition. Because I know Pastor Fred keep telling me, you're doing amazing, keep doing I always just write my complaints, because he's been longer in the game. If you don't know, by the way, we have what's called Fred in the Kitchen, okay? SimpleAfricanMeals.com. I hope I got that right. And that is Pastor Fred right here. Up this way, okay? That's his website. So he's been longer in the game. He knows everything. He also pretty much guided me through Pinterest, because I was like, I don't understand Pinterest. What's going on? I literally took a lot of screenshots and I shoved it to his Facebook Messenger. I was like, can you imagine? I got 23,000 views and then it went to 60. Can you imagine that? What's going on? I was, you guys, I was like, okay. Just be consistent. Keep doing what you're doing. It goes up and down, and I was like, okay. So yeah, guys, what I want to say is that it really takes a village. I was born in Nigeria. I was raised in Nigeria. I did part of my schooling in Nigeria and here in America, and my blog was kind of accidental thing. So why I'm saying this is like, I'm going from last to first. Like I'm doing the things I should have done first, last. Because if I had an intention of starting a blog, I probably would have been like, hey, you guys that are in the game, what's going on? What's up? How do you go about it? But I never did that, because it was like a passion project, right? It was like, I call myself accidental food blogger, because my goal was just to share the kind of food that I ate growing up with my kids, and I wanted to document that. I wanted them to look, in the future, I wanted them to look back and always go to that blog to grab a recipe. So it wasn't really something I was thinking of making profit of, So that's one thing to know, guys. If you're thinking of starting a business, definitely do your research, right? But if you're already accidentally in the business, don't stop yourself from finding out what you can find out and improving yourself and doing the research and knocking on those doors and saying, hey, I know that you've been in the game. Can you help me? Can you answer this question for me? So yeah, so simple and short, my big testimony, as I can say, right, is that I got accepted in this ad company. Some people might look at it and say, oh, it's that simple. I know, but to me, it's definitely, I see it as a step in the right direction. And I'm very grateful to that. And I'm also grateful to all the people, guys, that I've met on the way, like Fred, like that, my friend. Her blog is My Diaspora Kitchen. She actually has 3 blogs, but that's the main one. That's from where I know her from, right? Her name is Chinyere. I'm just so grateful for all the people that can literally help you. So if you are thinking about starting anything, don't be afraid. Always pray to God and also do the work.
Absolutely. That's great
Wow,
information.
wow. That was loaded with a lot of information, a lot of tips to monetizing our talents. And like you said, you stumbled upon it. It's almost like you stumbled upon it, but it happens to a lot of people. And even though some too might stumble upon their niche, it's important that they go and do their research, go and network, join groups like can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Uh-oh.
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. I remember encouraging Nkechi to join this group, and it's one group that really helped me because your stuff it helps with the when people give you 5 stars and all that stuff, it helps with the algorithm. And some of my things I posted maybe a year or 2 ago is now taking traction. Sometimes that's what happens. It's not going to be right away. You have to be patient and enjoy the process while you go along. But at any rate, I wanted to respond to our sister Tamara.
Tamara, what's up?
Saying hi from Chicago. I think
she.
Yeah. Jesse was on her channel last week, I believe.
I was.
All right.
So I want to talk a little bit. I know we talk about all the great accomplishments right now and all the accolades
frozen?
that I'm happy for.
No, I'm the one who's frozen.
Oh.
Okay.
Am I frozen?
No. I see Nkechi. So we've been talking about the great accolades that Nkechi has gotten, and congratulations to that. I also want to talk to you a little bit. I know that we've heard about some concerns in the media as far as some things that are going on in your home country. And I just wanted to know kind of if you're open to sharing, like what your thoughts are. Particularly, I know the big deal right now has been this kind of social media ban that's coming out. And I tried to read some articles about it. I know articles that are about news in other countries have to be taken with a grain of salt, oftentimes, because I don't necessarily agree with what the white man says about us. But anyways, I just wanted to get your opinion kind of on what's going on and what you think can be done.
What's going on in Nigeria?
Yes.
I mean, I guess I'm also going to base off of what I've seen, the videos that's been shared, let's say on social medias and stuff, and what people are saying, right? I believe anyone living in Nigeria right now should be able to give the proper account of what they are seeing, or, kind of first-hand information. But it's definitely really scary, because I think, why should you ban something like Twitter? I think that definitely freedom of expression, especially I don't know, people are not going to fight you from Twitter. They are just expressing themselves and communicating with each other and sharing, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of a low blow to our president, because there's a lot of things that apparently needs to happen in Nigeria, like the citizens are complaining of, the food is very expensive, the road is not good, just a lot of things, right? And what you're really pushing your energy to is banning Twitter in Nigeria.
Mm.
That pretty much sucks, and that defines the pettiness that people who think themselves to be leaders are really, you know what I mean? Because if you're a leader, then you should be able to rise above trying to take away the one thing that your citizens are using to be equal with their mates. Like literally, somebody can tweet you on Twitter and you respond, and even if the person is Nigeria, it doesn't matter, right? And you're thinking of taking away that, so that you show them that, you know what, I can take this away. And like Twitter has regulations, so if you tweet something that isn't in line with that and they shut down your tweet because you're a president, I don't think you need to take it away, take it out on your citizens by saying, you know what, you're going to take that right away from them. So what's going on is scary. And I think banning Twitter is just trying to redirect the conversation about the main issue that is really going on, because a lot of things are going on and it's scary. And I don't want to speak so much of that because, it's just sad, right? So a lot of things are going on that needs even the international community, and then you ban Twitter, and then now the conversation is like, why are you banning Twitter instead of the main thing that is going on in Nigeria? So it really, people keep saying, I don't know, is it even very safe for, like, I don't know, as a leader, I think our government, young people should be mindful of who they're going to elect next. But again, in a society where they have a lot of fraudulent election process, they're just going to put whoever they want to put there. I don't know if Paul Biya is still in Cameroon. Like, I don't know, but Paul Biya been in Cameroon since I was little, literally. Since I could say the word come, he's been president. And imagine, imagine tons of years passed. Like, you are not the only one that is educated enough or has the knowledge enough or has the wisdom enough to lead your people. It sucks, that we cry about all the things that happened to us during the colonial trade and everything, right? And we want to be free. And it's like your people doing that to you. So it sucks. And I guess that's all I'm going to say about that. But we're going to keep praying and hoping that the young people, due to whatever that is going on, we're not going to accept bribe and vote the wrong person.
Absolutely.
Well said.
Absolutely.
It's rather unfortunate, and I agree with you. Like, I mean, some of the atrocities that happened in the past, and if we're gonna still continue continue with some of those evils, I mean, it tells of how backward some are. But we're gonna look on the brighter side, like you said. You're done with that topic. There's more that could make us happier. Like, Nkechi, let's talk more about her blog and the brighter side of life, because there's more to celebrate than to be sad about. So, Nkechi, let's take some people might not know you. Let's rewind a little bit. So, what got you started? First of all, if you did not know, PanAfricana first was called Afriscope. That's why it's PanAfricana present Afriscope. What got you started, or what motivated you to get started with the Afriscope, and what was your vision with Afriscope?
Yeah, I mean, we started Afriscope, I believe, 2015. right? 2015, 2016,
Yes.
2015, I believe, when we started in Periscope. And also, it was in the name of giving us voice because we wanted to talk for ourselves. For instance, if you get on Google and you put in Jala Fries, you probably will see a lot of recipes that aren't really prepared by Africans. You understand what I'm saying? It might be
Yeah.
Jala Fries from the New York Times cooking channel or Jala Fries from Food 52. It might be, you understand what I'm saying? And it's not just about us, it also happens to other minorities, right? And so when we got on Periscope in 2015, I felt like, man, I think our voices are missing. And because Periscope is pretty much we get on live just like what we're doing right now, and we talk. We are going to give a face to our face first of all, and then we give a voice. And then my goal then of starting Afriscope was to just unite us and bring us together and bring us to share what we know to be the truth about our heritage, about our culture, about our community, and also have an opportunity to support each other. For instance, we are talking about my blog right now, and for some people who may not have heard about it before, may hear about it from this platform. So we talk about us, for us, to us, so that other people will celebrate us, pretty much, So that was one of the things that made me started because I felt like Periscope was doing very great, and every single time they are featuring all of this content, but none of them actually, talking about us or from us or produced from us. I feel like most of the times we are shy to get out there and get what belongs to us, and it's like, okay, what am I gonna say? But you can start from wherever you are. And I say this a lot, start from wherever you are. It can just be, hey, my name is Nkechi, born in Nigeria, raised in Nigeria, whatever, or my name is Fred from Ghana, you know what I mean? So, but it might be an opportunity for us to also encourage other people who are doing good things to come out, and so that whenever people hear about Nigeria, they're not thinking about 419 or fraud or whatever or shit hope, whatever. Am I supposed to say that word here? I don't know. But but you all know what I'm talking about, right? So I think when I started Afriscope, it was just to give a voice to us. It was just to, and also to help us know us, for us to support each other. And I think at that point, that was what we were doing. And I thank God for Periscope, even though Periscope is no longer there right now. I thank God for the opportunity He offered then, and then the opportunity that you guys are still offering now, because you have not allowed the light to die. You are still doing your shows every week, And by the way, you guys should check out the YouTube channel because everything that you do is still, uploaded to YouTube. So when they go there, they will see even from Habiba's, interview. Everything is right there. So yeah, that was my goal, to bring us together, for us to promote each other, for us to support each other, for us to build a community of people, not really face to face, like people, people that have the same skin color, and that, no, I'm using that word loosely. It's not like I know you, I know your family, but people that come from the same heritage, the same culture, people that associate themselves to be one. And I think most of us with the brown black skin, we identify with the suffering of each other. We identify with the tribulations of each other. We identify with oneness of each other. So definitely that was in my mind when I started Periscope Afriscope, so that we all can just laugh, chill, even though it's digitally, right? Even though it's digitally, so that we all can cheer, even if it's water, whatever. But yeah, that was my goal. And even now, that you guys are expanding, I think the goal pretty much remains the same: to support each other and to be there for each other. And yeah, not sure if I answered the question right, but
that was great. So Periscope, one of the things that I want our audience to know is we all met on Periscope, and I'm always going to be have an affinity for Nkechi because I think she was kind of the magnet, the lightning rod that pulled everybody together. For a long time, I felt there was a disconnect just throughout the diaspora because people over here don't necessarily know about any issues that are going on in the continent. And then sometimes people in the continent don't necessarily know what's going on with folks over here. But like Nkechi said, we're all part of the same family tree, right? So being able to get on and first of all, I think dispel myths that other folks who don't look like us have perpetuated about who we are and about what we do. And about, little things like what our homes look like or where we work or whatever the case may be. Periscope was very good in, showing us that for the most part, we all live similar lives. We're trying to work, pay our bills, raise our kids, and have fun along the way. But to be able to connect with people kind of on a quarterly, or not even a quarterly, but like a daily or weekly basis to build a new network of friends, like family and stuff. I wouldn't know Fred without Periscope, right? So like just to be in this position is great.
That's right.
Oh, Nisette. Love your goal of creating a shared space for us to support and learn from one another. Absolutely. We've been able to bring so many Black voices from places that I didn't even know Black people were at in order to be on this show, talk a little bit about their perspective and what's going on, and to build up for our family base. And so I attribute all of that, to Nkechi just being brave enough and courageous enough to say, I'm going to stand out and try and set up Afriscope and we'll see what happens.
From Panama, is a friend of the show, and she was on a show a few shows ago, about a couple months ago. She was talking about Afro-Latina culture in Panama.
I remember that, yeah. When you guys shared the video of Panama, really looking very, very beautiful. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. So Nisette, that's your key. We have to get a group trip to Panama. So go ahead and arrange it. Send us the details so we know where to be.
Definitely. Taking a trip to some of these places will make you appreciate those places even more. Take a trip to Egypt, take a trip to, Panama, Haiti, all these places, Trinidad and Tobago. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I know a lot of people don't like travel, but again, we've had a tough year coming off of 2020. So yeah, definitely when everything is back to normal, thinking about traveling is important. Taking the kids with you or going by yourself is really, really good because, they say the more you go, the more you learn, So,
Absolutely. And I'm learning every week when we talk to different guests on this show that everybody has different food and different fruits and different vegetables and different meats and stuff. And everybody has a cuisine. And so what I say on top of traveling is try new things, try new dishes. We've got two people on right now who both have food blogs, right? And my food blog is the McDonald's menu. So we need to travel and try new things and actually allow your palate to grow and experience. And you might find something else that you like. I am eager to, I always weigh in on these Jollof War challenges, Jollof Rice Wars. I'm curious to have both. I want to try both. and I want to form my own neutral opinion that's going to be influenced by whoever I'm around. So
I think the people that started that war, they may not be Nigerian, they may not be Ghanaian. I don't know. I've eaten both Jala Fries. I've gone to Ghana a couple of times. I don't know. I don't know the difference, honestly. I think the most important thing is to know the basics of cooking a good Jala Fries, and whether you get it from from Ghana or get it from Lagos, Nigeria, or Abuja, Nigeria, Accra, Ghana. I think as long as you have the basics down, you can always cook good Jala Fries wherever you are.
absolutely. What is this we're looking at, Fred? This looks good.
That's coconut soup.
Okay.
Coconut milk soup, yeah.
Interesting.
Super easy too. So definitely check it out if you guys are looking for something to cook with chicken. I use chicken. I mean, you can use any other kind of meat.
It's good. And you have a whole bunch of smoothies on too.
Yeah, especially this time that is summer. Yeah, definitely check out the smoothies, so refreshing this time. It's hot. Like literally it's 90 degrees right now. It is 90 degrees right now. Like crazy, right? But that is the season, and we appreciate God for for allowing us to see all the seasons of the year.
So Twitter says, I love trying new foods as well. That's wonderful. Love Jala Fries. Okay. So we've got somebody who is weighing in. Do you have a favorite? Have you designated your favorite?
Okay.
It's also had coconut soup. Okay.
Yes, that coconut soup goes over right. It's like very easy. You can equate it to light soup. In Ghana, they make a lot of light soup. The only difference is the light soup, and then I use coconut milk instead. It's just so light and refreshing, and just pour it over rice, over curly rice if you're thinking of eating low carb. And it's just a different thing to eat other than rice and stew. If you're my brother or sister, it's like growing up in my house. Every Sunday is rice and stew. So I mean, most families though, it's not just it's rice and stew. Rice and stew, maybe beans by the side. So it's rice, beans, and stew.
Yes. It's I think it's a West African thing.
I know, right? And with also like plantain, fried plantain.
And let me ask you all this. So because you all have had an experience with designing these culinary dishes off and like outside of America, do you feel like when you get here, you still have access to the items and ingredients that you need to make it taste the same as it would if you were making it back home? Or is it different and you have to improvise?
Go first. Do you want me to go first?
Okay. I'll go. Well, if you live on the East Coast, it's easier because if you live in New York, Philadelphia, Maryland area, the DMV area, it's easier to come across. They have a lot of stores where you can buy the products and stuff. But then if you live on the west, like I am in San Diego, I mean, in LA, you can get a lot of the stuff, but not in San Diego, which is a major city, one of the largest cities in all of the US. But then, like I said, like when you go to the major cities, you are more likely to get it. And I don't think where Nkechi too is in Kentucky, I don't think she's going to get a lot of the products. But then the good thing is now Amazon carries a lot of them. So you could order it off of Amazon. But I also wanted to add to what Nkechi said about the Jala Fries and telling our own story. I remember what actually got me started on YouTube was I saw like someone put it, atrocious video on Jala Fries. It was a really nasty looking Jala Fries, which G showed me. My wife showed me, and like, man, we have to do something about this. So that's when I did my first jollof video. And then it's that video took off, and actually it's my best watch video. It has like 15,000 views now.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's important that we tell our side of the story and not from
Exactly.
another side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So piggybacking on what he said, I'm trying to answer Jesse's question. Yeah, I think we pretty much try to make the food the same way. And here's the thing, what people forget. Jollof is like a way of cooking. You understand? You can literally do jollof pasta, right? Fred, you can do jollof beans. You can do jollof chickpea. So that was why I mentioned really knowing the basics, and it's like a way of cooking. You understand? You cook and using those ingredients, and then, but most of the time, what's very, very popular is the rice, jollof rice. So all the ingredients you pretty much can get it here. But yeah, I remember when you used to live in Maryland. There is store everywhere. It's like Igbo. So you just get to there. You can get any kind of, spices that you need. And I think what you really need spices for is like the pepper soup, the nkwobi. Like there are some food that if you don't add those kind of spices, it's gonna just taste different. So but for something like jollof rice, it is pretty much easy on the eyes as long as you have your tomatoes, pepper, onions. Most of the time people add crayfish, garlic, all of those things. Then you're not going to combine them together and add rice. You're going to cook it how it's cooked. You're going to be patient, and I say this all the time. One of my jollof rice videos, I was like, you have to be patient. You do not cook it with the flame, you cook it with the steam. So, and you gotta be patient, cover it real tight with small water, and the steam is gonna cook the rice. And by the time you finish, you will know that this jollof rice went to Columbia, went to Harvard, went everywhere. She says she's hungry.
She's hungry now.
I know. I actually have some in the fridge, but yeah, and Amazon is a very good resource. My last pepper suya spice, I got it from Amazon. Also pepper soup spice, I got it from Amazon. So you can get authentic ones. I think be careful, read the label. All those ones that are adding brown sugar, know that it's not Nigerian, because we don't add sugar to any kind of food.
No.
But most of our food is like savory, right? So we rarely add sugar, except if it's pap, like the corn pudding, kind of, if it's pap, or what kind of food do we maybe making chin, making snacks, But if it's really making meat, making food, making stew, making soup, we don't do sugar. So if you are looking for a pepper soup spice or a suya spice, all those Nigerian and West African dishes that you want to make that need all those spices and ingredients, says brown sugar, this, know that now you know what I mean? We don't do sugar. So go for those authentic brands. That's it. Yeah, you may not get everything, but you can get pretty much enough to help you stay authentic to the dish that you're making. And what I also do on the blog is, because I always say my mantra is me first. I don't know, does that sound selfish? But anyways, my mantra is like between me first and gaining health, because I thank God for good health, but I also have seen my share of child, so I love to really make sure that whenever I cook, whenever I eat, I'm choosing quality over quantity. I don't mind staying hungry and eating at 12 and making sure that food is good. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I think for me, I do that on the blog too. I don't put out what I will not eat. Anything you've seen on my blog, be rest assured that I have some of it, or that I wouldn't put out what I'm not, because my health is very important to me. Just keeping the body and the soul together is very important to me. And back home, I remember then my father, when he was alive, he used to help out a lot. He would just go to the garden, get all those leaves that we add to yam porridge and stuff. And it's like, now you begin to appreciate that all those spinaches, a West African spinach is a little different than the spinach we have here in America. But
Yeah.
I think it's only different because of the brand, or what? Is it different because of the
I think it's
is that right?
no, it's cocoyam leaves.
Okay, yeah, cocoyam leaves, right?
Palava sauce, they call it. I think. No, the
Exactly.
palava sauce is the sauce, but then I actually don't know the actual name, but I know it's cocoyam
Mhm.
leaves.
Right. We eat that too. So there's a lot of things that can definitely help us improve our food if we consistently choose quality over quantity. And just take your time to make the food. I'm not saying take all the time. Most of the recipes is like 30 minutes, as long as you've already bought the ingredients. If you're calculating going to the store, blah blah blah, it's gonna take you time. It will take you time. So what I'm trying to say is that even when we eat, even when I make those African food, and if I think that the recipe calls for a lot of ingredients that are not going to basically help improve health, I will reduce it. So it doesn't take anything away from the spices, because spices are basically medicinal, and spices will help you improve the taste of your food, and spices will make the food to be flavorful. But if, say, an egusi soup is calling for 2 cups of red oil, I'm not going to do that. I pretty much may use let's say 1/4 cup, something like that, depending on the bigness or vastness or hugeness, whatever, of the recipe. I may just do maybe 1/4 cup of oil, and then I might say, okay, let me add maybe tomatoes to bring out the color. You understand what I'm saying? Because most of the people that add it because they want the oil to be floating, they want the egusi to look like red. All those things are not necessarily adding anything. They're adding too much oil. I don't think it's the best thing. I think that even when we make all those meals that we eat, enjoying and whatever, we can still continue to make it better. We can, and for me, that's why I love cooking. Every single day I say, God, thank you for accidentally putting me in this profession, because one thing I'm sure I'm gonna do for me is I'm gonna eat good. So that gives me so much joy, that I'm not so much in a hurry, and I'm thinking of maybe what's the name, Burger King or all of that. Like, my husband is just gonna tell you, oh no, she's not gonna do that, because it's just like, it gives me joy to just eat good. You know what I mean? And I know when people say eat good, it's like southern food. I don't know why they say all bad food are southern food. And again, I'm using this word loosely. Is like it's comfort food. Comfort food is not supposed to be bad for you. We can make comfort food to be good for us. That coconut soup you saw is, for me, is comforting, because I served it with boiled ripe sweet plantain. It was good. So it was like a pepper soup, not really, kind of, because it's light soup. You can pour it on over anything. But we served it with boiled ripe plantain, and then we served the rest with white rice. And we can make our comfort food to be comforting to both our soul and our body. And that means that our food is not going to be our enemy. And honestly, I'm speaking to my black brothers and sisters, brown skin, because sometimes it's like, ooh, that mashed potato is like, make it good. But you don't necessarily need to add everything that will not make it look bad, and you're eating it and you're pitying yourself. You know what I mean? Make it good, cook it, eat it, and enjoy it. You know what I mean? So, and there are many ways to do that. Definitely, there are many ways to do that. I'm talking too much.
Oh no, this is good.
That's fine. Nkechi, so right, I was right about to go there. So, and that's what I named the topic about living a healthier life. So, what brought also? I see you also went through a transition, like you were saying. You're talking about in your previously what you said previously. You talked about the fact that sometimes we overuse certain ingredients like the palm oil. You could always reduce it. You don't have to use, if it's four spoons of salt, you can just use one and half a spoon of salt and all that. What brought about the transition for you, or what caused you to move on the healthier side? Because if you don't know, Nkechi also has a lot of smoothies, a lot of healthy smoothies, which do different things. It helps with your blood sugar, helps with it's high in antioxidants. It helps with blood pressure and all that. So what brought about the transition?
Yeah, I mean, what brought about the transition is really me putting myself first. You understand? And I've never been a fan of making stew and oil is floating on top, and making maybe what is it? Let's say making a goosey soup, and a goosey already is seed, and a goosey already has a lot of oil. You know what I mean? So I've never been a fan of that, but also understanding that you are giving your body a lot of work. I guess going to school and studying public health was part of the thing, that really pushed me in the direction of just, if you're gonna make it good. You know what I'm saying? Make it taste good, make it be good for you, and all of that. And also, there was a time that I was just sick. You understand what I'm saying? I went through a couple of health scares and all of that, and I feel like I'm going to just eat good food, and also I'm going to make sure that if I'm posting it, it should also help the next person. I don't want to, let's say, make a recipe that calls for 5 cups of sugar, and I know that I wouldn't eat it, and then I post it, and some people may feel like it's very tasty that way, and they make it. Sugar is anti-nutrient. Sugar is not just like, sugar doesn't help your body. It's going to I wanted to say one word, but anyways, it's going to be bad for you. it's going to go. I'm sorry, guys. Sugar is going to slow down the process of the other food helping your body. Sugar is not, I mean, again, a lot of food, has a lot of sugar, because carbohydrates, turns to sugar and all of that. But the sugar the company manufactures, the sugar that we can measure in cup, I'm not talking about sugar in your orange, sugar in your apple, sugar in your fruits, papaya, and all of that. I'm talking about the sugar that people are making sweet potatoes. And maybe this sweet potatoes is like 5 pounds of sweet potatoes, and then the empty one whole bag. I'm not saying pound. I've seen it with my 2 eyes. A whole bag of sugar that is up to 10 pounds, and they enter it and they pour it on the yams so that it will be sticky and all of that. I'm like, I'm not eating that. But
That's our
anyway,
Thanksgiving. That's the candy yam.
that is the sugar I'm talking about. We don't need that. So I remember when I was young, we used to plant sweet potato, and it's naturally sweet. It's okay to sweeten it with other naturally sweet stuff, but like using sugar in that kind of way, and then I can't. For instance, what I was saying was I can't make that kind of recipe, post it, because I know I'm not eating it. I feel like a fraud by doing that. So to answer your question, Fred, a lot of things, a couple of things. Number one, I've not really been a fan of, that kind of 4 cups of. My mother really, she never had that kind of amount of, I think most people that do that is like all this, in Nigeria, they call it mama puts. All of these restaurants, they want things to be extra high. Extra now. They'll just make sure that if you see Nigeria. But I think they are the ones that naturally. I don't think if you're cooking a dish for your family, you're gonna pour 1 cup of oil, 2 cups of oil, 3 cups of oil in there. Huh? Are you drinking the oil? So first of all, I'm not really that kind of like that's not really how I roll, but also being sick at one time and really examining myself and then thinking of being thoughtful that I want to create these recipes for my kids to eat in the future. I don't want them to eat it and get sick, and then it's like then they go to the doctor, they say, hey, you gotta stop this, you gotta stop that, you gotta stop. Like I want the recipes to actually help them. You understand what I'm saying? So that really informed my decision to be very intentional, about the kind of recipes that I want to create and how I want to show up to the world, which means if I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to share it, and that is actually one of my goals. Like if it's not worth eating, if I know that I'm going to pass on that when I see it at the store, at anywhere, at an event or whatever, I'm going to pass on it. I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to share it, because I want you, when you go to the blog, to really enjoy the food and not be afraid to enjoy the food. And so that's like one of my guiding rules. If I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to share it. So those were the things that made me to really, and also studying public health. Studying public health and looking at the statistics, that man, heart disease is the number one killer. And our Black American folks is like, let me just say Black, because even all over the world, it kills Black people the most. Heart disease, high blood pressure, hypertension is high blood pressure, and all of those cardiovascular diseases, they are all related. Cholesterol, high cholesterol, all of those things. And the thing is that most of them are totally preventable. First of all, if you're listening to this, I'm not a doctor. Okay, so I don't want you to take medical advice from me. Consult your health practitioner. But I'm just talking about information that is out there. If you go to World Health Organization, you will see all of this that I'm talking about. Is the number one killer. And understanding that our food actually can help us. So me thinking in the mindset of making your food your medicine is also one of the things that drives me to make sure that I'm looking at the recipes, really thinking about it and asking myself, will you eat this? Is this good? Okay. And then you can share this. Really being in that mindset is one of the things that makes me share the recipe I share, whether it's Afro-fusion recipes or maybe recipes that I, got to start eating since I've been here in America, or just any of those things. I try to put it in a way that it will be helpful, because all recipes is like guide, right? So it will be a helpful guide. A lot of people can look at a recipe and decide to add this and not that, and do the other one and not that. But I feel like for me, I want to put it in a way that is helpful for that person to make the decision whether to eat it that way or to, add whatever they want to add. But yeah, those are the things that made me to stick to my guns, you may say, when it comes to sharing the kind of food I share and sharing them the way that I share them.
Well, while you were talking, what I was thinking about was, there's a real good show on Netflix called High on the Hog. And it's a chef who's like basically examining both African and African American dishes and kind of doing a food history search to say, like, where did this come from and why do people eat the things they eat and what tastes resonate, and where those regions of those tastes come from. So I think that, there are a lot of similarities in the sense that I think we've all been trying to program food to be a certain way for us. And I think because of stuff like the slave trade and, slaves being largely malnourished and having to make do with not having much, we found creative ways of making the little bit that we get go a long way that aren't always healthy for us, but that we have now been conditioned to grow accustomed to here. And I think unlearning that and getting back to kind of our roots and being able to eat better is something that it's a process, but it has a greater payoff for the healthcare benefits.
I totally agree with you, because it's like, okay, this is the little we have, but we can make it taste good, and I totally agree with you. And as we are in these centuries right now, and again, sometimes it's very hard to get rid of learned and passed down, what will I say? And passed down traditions or something like that, if I would call it, because and again, that's seldom. It's like we have to make it to at least I totally agree with you, and that is the fact, and that is the fact. And but what I also think is that for anybody that cooks for the family, you have to take that job serious. You have to say that I don't want to kill my folks, I don't want to give them foods that will be a problem for them tomorrow. I think for anyone that cooks, whether it's the man that cooks in the house or the woman or both, you have to take that job seriously. If you take it serious and say that and tell yourself that you don't want to endanger the people that are in your care, the people that are going to eat the food that you're cooking. I'm not saying butter is bad. I'm not saying this is bad, but definitely we're reassessing what we do and think about, is this helping me or not, right? And you understanding that role. And I talk about this a lot inside my community. I tell them that you gotta take that role serious. It's like you have this big mantra, this big thing given to you, and then am I just gonna put sugar, or am I just gonna, thank God, the world is changing, and even those spices across Africa or Asia or wherever, we can get it wherever we are, and those things can make the food to taste better without too much sugar, without too much butter, without too much of the things. I'm not saying butter is bad. I use butter, but a lot of people will just go way over. So you see your job as a very important duty, that this is really, really important right here. So I'm trying to feed my people so they live long. And I tell my kids all this all the time. They want this. I'm just like, well, as your mom, I've already made the decision. Guess what? This is what you're eating. Whenever you turn 18, 19, 20, whatever, you can feed yourself whatever you want to feed yourself. At this point, this is what I'm about to eat. And honestly, my kids are not picky eater. Whatever. Plantain, they love it. Cook it, boil it. Even when I boil it and I served it with that coconut soup, that finish their plate. Like I don't have to beg them to eat, and I thank God for that too. You know, so that's the thing. You tell your people with authority vested on me, this is what you want to do.
That's right.
Oh, the authority, okay? I tell them, I got this authority, man. You want to take it out? Okay. So whenever you turn 19, 20, 21, 30, whatever, you can decide to go to hand over that authority to Subway, okay? And so,
Yeah.
you know, that authority is with me, okay? So that is the thing. I think if we take it that way, and then the next thing I'll ask them, is sugar good? Is this good? Let them tell me, right? By the time they start understanding that some things are sometimes food. I'm not saying you don't eat at all, like you don't eat pies at all, you know, but by the time kids or folks with you around you start understanding that sometimes it's fat, like even in my house, sometimes my husband, if he gets chocolate, he won't allow me to see it. He might keep it in the garage. I told him that I'm going to save it for him in the trash, okay? And I'm not saying chocolate is bad. It's okay sometimes, you know, but making it part of your thing is not the best thing. Making it part of every day after eating, I just eat chocolate, like seriously, you know. So that's the thing. If you take your job serious and feel like, you know, I'ma just put my heart in this and put my best foot forward, they will know not to play with you. You know what I mean? They will know that this is a serious matter, like we say in Nigeria. This is a serious matter. This is a serious matter, you know. So here's what we're gonna do. And pie every year now and then is good, but let's say every night you get dessert. No, you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely taking your job serious if you make food for the house and just putting your best foot forward. And okay, if there is a family celebration, last time I made some cake. I made a chocolate cake and made chocolate frosting because there was a bad day in the house, you know. So if sometimes you have to make those kind of things, that's okay, absolutely okay, you know. But really, moderation is the watchword, and putting your best foot forward. At least, let's say 60% of the time, you're buying and cooking those fruits and vegetables that will help you. You know, at least 60% of the time. Not, or maybe if you want to eat out, maybe once a week or 2 times a week, or let's say 3 times a week. But eating out one day, once a day, it's not even good for your pocket, and it's not really good for your health, you know, because most restaurants just make food to taste good. It doesn't matter whether they add 2 sticks of butter to one fish fillet or whatever they're making, filet mignon, whatever, you know. It doesn't matter if they add they just want it to taste good so that you come back again, you know. So if you have that job of really influencing the food that goes on in your household, just take it serious and do what you can do. 60-40 is good. Definitely a good start. Definitely an amazing start. Okay. So if you do it 60-40, I think that's good because everybody is busy. Many people will not be able to cook every day. It's not visible, you know. So 60-40, and you know, shopping for those vegetables, those fruits, eating better for that 60% of the time. Maybe 40% we can manage with cereal, manage with whatever. You know, it's a good start. You know, you understand. So it's really you taking the job serious as a father, as a mom, as a helper, as you know, and just doing your best. It may not be easy, but you do your best. If you know you're doing your best and it's not easy all the time, that's understandable. You know, but if you are all the time looking for the way out, oh, by the way, where can I order some chicken, some fries, some this, some like, you know, again, I talk too much. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just sitting here feeling judged.
I'm not judging you, you know.
No, I make bad decisions. I'm gonna do better though.
You're very busy, Jesse. So you're doing your best.
I'm gonna get better. I'm trying to. I've adopted cauliflower rice instead of regular rice. I have started grilling a lot more as opposed to going out to eat. So I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
Awesome.
But yes, definitely we want everybody to be cognizant of their health and of their dieting and of the influence of food on that diet. So it looks like, oh, wow, I didn't realize what time it was. It looks like we're out of time, but I do want to make sure that if people did not see, can we put up Nkechi's blog again so people know like where to go? Make sure if you have not followed or gone and looked at the amazing recipes that she's put up, that you go ahead and do that. And also follow her because she's going to be posting. Now we know that the advertising's coming in, so she's going to be posting a lot. So make sure that you're following and supporting. Likewise, if you have not done so already, make sure that you follow us on Instagram at The PanAfricana Show. Also on Facebook, PanAfricana presented by Afriscope. And make sure if you have anybody that you are curious about or that you want to have on as guests, send us a message. We don't bite. We love adding to the family. We view all of our guests as being part of our growing family. And so we want to hear from you. Oh, Fred, you sound muted.
That's Nkechi's IG at Nkechi Ajaeroh, and then on Facebook, as a Facebook, you could just click and go and see all those wonderful recipes. And her blog is NkechiAjaeroh.com. And I'm gonna hand over to my partner to put out a disclaimer.
Yes, we talk about this every week, everybody. So at this point, you should have this memorized. But we have given you this young lady's information, okay, to connect for professional purposes. This is not the time to pull back like Donovan Mitchell and let it go from half court and shoot shots into anybody's inbox. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure her husband's not going to appreciate that. So I want to make sure you all know.
Plus is in the military, so.
Yes, he's in the military, so he knows how to use guns, okay? So be respectful when you send information or when you try to communicate. Make sure that we keep everything above board. Don't send anything that you wouldn't want read against you in court, because we'll do it. But yes, definitely feel free to follow, connect, and try to emulate some of these recipes that she's putting up, because I'm getting ready to try the smoothie. So make sure that you're doing it and watch how your body rewards you for trying to eat healthier and for learning a new skill. Oh, we got Desire. What's going on, man, from the Philippines? Confronted.
Desire says, I'm confronted and got nowhere to run. So just gotta change.
Same boat, brother. Same boat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's important because I know sometimes it's easier, especially Desire as a student, all the way in from the Philippines, and sometimes as a student you want to do something fast and or just grab a quick bite. But sometimes planning ahead, for the week. So on Sunday, if you could get some or go on Nkechi's blog, copy and paste. Just go exactly there. The meals are pretty simple to do. So cook on Sundays for the week. So every day you could scoop a little bit of some coconut soup. The next day you could do some a smoothie for breakfast, all that kind of stuff. It could be done planned ahead. So you're not rushing and going to McDonald's or KFC in the middle of the day.
Don't do it. They don't care about your health at all.
Exactly. They care about their pockets.
Yes.
That's
and I'll
correct.
say if you shop, if you do your grocery shopping and you have the ingredients that you need from looking at Nkechi's blog, you can do all of that stuff ahead of time so that you can prepare for what you want to make during the week. The worst thing that people do, particularly in the United States, is impulse shop. Like, people get hungry first and then they go to the grocery store, and next thing you know, you buy $200 of ice cream and you're not really sure why you did that when you get home, don't do that. Make sure you go in with a plan, because these people will sell you anything that you'll pay for, and they don't care what your health is or not. So make sure that you look at Nkechi's blog, find out the ingredients you need, find out the recipes you want to make that week, and then go targeted and laser focused only to the aisles of the stuff that you need. Your pocket will thank you, your health will thank you, and your stomach will thank you.
Absolutely. So you can, my partner said, you can reach us on IG at PanAfricana Show, and Facebook and YouTube at PanAfricana Presents Afriscope. Shoot us a message, watch our videos, like this video, share, subscribe, comments. It helps us. It helps the message go out. It helps the algorithm. Once you comment, share, the algorithm picks it up and shares our content elsewhere. So do your best to help us out. We're in this together. We're family, and we're glad you joined us this Saturday. You know, your time is very valuable. We appreciate you spending your time with us, and have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you, our guest Nkechi, for joining us, for motivating us, encouraging us to eat healthier, and we'll see you again next week. But our guest will be staying behind the scenes. Bye, everybody.